Jesse, thank you so much. I must say, you're a better man than I am, and I'm watching you be a father, and I'm excited for you to be a better father than I am. You're well on your way to being Father of the Year. I must say, before I get started, another round of applause, please, for John, Harry, and Brian. Being among heroes is unbelievable, and I'm honored to share it today. Being recognized as Father of the Year is one of the great honors I could have ever asked for. From the bottom of my heart, there's no other award I could ever win that would top this. If I ever became a movie producer, a director, an actor, and I won the Academy Award, today is the pinnacle, because there's no role I could ever play that's more important than being a father to my two little boys, Dax and Cole. In the Poconos, there's a hotel called the Hotel Bethlehem, and it's one of the longest-standing, oldest hotels in the United States. It was founded in 1922, and dignitaries and politicians and actors and musicians have all stayed there. Everyone from Amelia Earhart to Muhammad Ali to JFK to Bill Clinton to The Rock. And all of their photos are up on the wall. And a few months back, my family and I are sitting having breakfast there, and my oldest son, Dax, is looking at all the photos on the wall. And I can tell he's deep in thought. And I said to him, Dax, what are you thinking about? What's going on, fella? And he said, Daddy, now that you're Father of the Year, is your photo going to go up on the wall? I'm working on it, Dax. My speech today is about thank yous and how I got here. First, I'd like to thank Dan and Doug and the Father's Day Council for making today happen. I'm so incredibly humbled and honored to be here in front of all of you. Thank you to all of our partners who helped contribute to ensure today was such a great success. Our retailers, our licensees, our distributors, of course our family and friends and fellow honorees, my colleagues and the company Authentic Brands Group. Thank you. Thank you to Katuna Kobiashvili, who ensured today was a success. A round of applause for Katuna. There you are. Everything you execute is to perfection, so I'm not surprised, but thank you, Kay. Great job. Round of applause. Now, I have to get this right. Thank you to my wife, Ina. I would not be up here today if it wasn't you making me a father of two of the most wonderful boys I could have ever asked for. You have to deal with the packing lunches, the dirty laundry, the cleaning, the cooking, the mood swings, the temper tantrums, and that's just me. You're also raising our two little boys. I am in awe of you. I am in awe of you. I couldn't have the success in my career if it wasn't for you at home raising these two perfect children. Ina, you're the unsung hero. You're the glue of this family. I admire you so much. My mom often said you were created in a factory for me, and that's the truth. You're my perfect other half. And every day I just want you to be proud of who your husband is. I trust today is one of those occasions. I love you so much. Thank you. To my parents, thank you. My high school yearbook quote, my goal in life was to emulate the character of my mom, the wisdom of my dad, and still manage to be myself. Let me start with my mom and her character. My mom helped shape who I am today. Her moral compass was always my North Star. She taught me how to stand on my own 2 feet. She taught me how to not follow the crowd, be comfortable and confident in my own convictions. And she gave me the confidence to be who I am. Her unwavering support and her unconditional love stays with me to this day. She also gave me my sense of style. She allowed me to dress how I wanted to dress, irrespective if the clothes didn't look good on me. For those of you that knew my mom, I don't have to articulate it, but for those of you that didn't, my mom was the most elegant in any room. She was like a traditional Hollywood starlet. In spite of how beautiful she was and how well she put herself together, she was the kindest, nicest woman I've ever met. And the running joke in high school, when my friends would see my parents together, they would say, your dad is handsome and all, but man, your mom could have done much better. I miss you, Mommy. I love you. I think about you every day. Now, to my father, who's a fellow recipient, and the first time in the 84-year history of the event, both a father and son are getting this award. I'm so honored. Now, my dad was tough love growing up. He was the inverse of my mom. My dad says, if you look past the label of my dress shirt that says Ralph Lauren, it says made by Mark Webber. And of course, my father was instrumental in raising me and shaping who I am. But let me give you a real-world example of the tough love that I dealt with growing up. I was 13 years old, I'll never forget, and I was going to a friend's bar mitzvah. I was wearing a black shirt, a black tie, a black blazer, and gray slacks. Now, why do I remember the color story other than, of course, admiring fashion? Because at that age, I was 13, my early teenage years, for lack of a better word, I suffered from acne. And the color black and pimples do not look good together. And as I'm getting ready for this event, a wave of insecurity came over to me, and I said to my mom, Mommy, I don't like the way I look, my skin, I don't feel good. And she said, stop it, Jarrod. You look great, you're dressed great, you don't see anything, go have the best time. Well, put my tie back on, I got my confidence back, I was feeling great. And then on this occasion, my father was driving me to this same event. My father is driving, and I'm in the passenger seat. And I pulled down the mirror to look at myself, and if I thought the color black didn't go well with acne, daylight is far worse. And another wave of insecurity came over me, and I said to my father, Dad, I don't like the way I look, I got these pimples, what do you think? And without skipping a beat, my father said, don't worry, Jarrod, it'll be dark in there. And if that doesn't define the dichotomy between my father and mother, now, because I've matured and looking back, I will tell you that I didn't like hearing it at the time, but that tough love was instrumental in ensuring I was successful growing up. It provided a grit and toughness that I needed, and it was a perfect counterbalance to my mom and dad. They were the perfect yin and yang. I didn't like hearing it, but I understood it. But I will tell you, on top of everything else, my father was so generous with his time growing up. My father had a big, successful career, and if he doesn't talk to you about it, I'll quickly articulate. CEO of 2 big public companies, radio talk show host, but it was never in lieu of spending time with his family. Every baseball game, every basketball match, every karate competition, my father was there rooting me on. And not only did I appreciate it, but it provided a sense of comfort and support and love that made me feel like a giant. But what I didn't realize, and now I do, it helped shape and establish the archetype of how I am a father growing up and my 2 children growing. Now, and finally, Daddy, I'd be remiss not to thank you for this as well. So thank you for the hair genes. Now, to my boys, Dax and Cole. There is nothing in this world I wanted more than to be a father. Nothing. And I wanted 2 little boys more than anything. Just like your Dee Dee and Grandma Susie had me and Uncle Jesse, I wanted 2 little boys. I also wanted to play in the NBA. It never happened. My size didn't catch up with me. And also, I wanted to play maybe in the NFL. But I will tell you, I know what it's like to win the Super Bowl. Because when Mommy was pregnant with you, Dax, and when Mommy was pregnant with you, Cole, both times we were surprised. We didn't want to find out the gender. And when the doctor pulled you out of Mommy's belly, Dax, and I saw it was a boy, and I screamed out, it's a boy! And I woke up the entire hospital floor. It was the greatest feeling I ever had. And then, a couple of years later, this little fella, Cole, comes. And Cole gets pulled out of Mommy's belly. Another boy! Screaming, high-fiving the nurses. The nurses said it was the greatest reaction they've ever seen. So, I can't tell you how great it is to be a father. It's the most rewarding job I could have ever expected. There's nothing in this world I love more. I'll give you a real-world example. Fellow Honoree talked about the Knicks. Dax and I had the great privilege of going to Game 4 of the Knicks game last week. And for those of you that didn't follow basketball, shame on you, but I'll articulate. It was the greatest basketball game in the history of the NBA as far as I'm concerned. The greatest game. And And we got to the game early, and we spent some time in the lounge. And Dax and I were talking for about a half hour. And after about a half hour, I said to Dax, do you want to go to the seats? And Dax said, no, let's keep talking, Daddy. And we talked a little more, and then Dax said to me, do you have any other questions for me, Daddy? So I said, sure, Dax. How was school? We went through it. Are you excited for camp? And then we made our way to the seats after sitting and talking for about 45 minutes. And then we witnessed the greatest game, the greatest comeback, 29 points. OG Anunoby tips it in, Brunson takes over the game, and we were there till 1:45 in the morning, till the lights went out. We celebrated. It was the greatest memory ever. I thought. We get in the car, and I say to Dax, Dax, what was your favorite part of the game? What was the best part? The tip in, the dunk? And he looks at me, and he didn't skip a beat, and he said, Daddy, my favorite part was sitting in the lounge talking to you. The Knicks, Dax, made New York City's night that night, but you made mine. Dax, you're a rock star. And it's not because of the way you dress, and it's not because you have long hair. It's because your intellect, your maturity, your athletic ability, your confidence to not follow the crowd, your unwavering conviction to what you think is right is unbelievable, especially as a 10-year-old. And I trust the lessons I'm trying to teach you, you'll pass on to your children. Cole, my little fella. Cole's fearless. About 2 years ago, he must have been 6, maybe 5 years old. He's on the playground. And there was a kid, and that's a very generous word, a young adult who looked like The Rock, banged into my little fella. And if you see him, he'll be taller than Jesse, but he's a small guy right now. And the kid bumps into Cole and says, watch where you're going. And Cole doesn't hesitate, goes back into him and says, you watch where you're going. I was panicked. It worked out okay. But that's a true story. Cole, I love you. I'm so proud of watching you develop. You're an amazing little boy. You're learning, you're reading, you're writing, you're fearless. Slow down on the double black diamonds. Give me a panic attack, but you're amazing. Boys, I want you to know I'll always be on the sidelines with your mom, Mommy Ina, cheering you on, sometimes louder than you may like. And there's nothing more than I want in this world for you to be a better version than me. And I know that's going to happen. And I trust that everything your mommy and I provide and talk to you about, you take with humility, appreciation, and use it as a backbone as you continue to develop. I want you to enjoy life, and I want you to always be happy. And I'm so very proud to be your daddy. So in closing, and by the way, one other thing, take the best from me because I'm still learning also. So in closing, thank you every single one of you who are here in attendance. It means the world to me, truly. And I'm so pleased to be here, and I trust that the words and the sentiments that are spoken here tonight will echo for generations to come in the Weber family. Thank you so very much.